Okay, so this is going to be the video for how to set up your layout with gusset plates. But I want to carry over from last class a little bit to show you what you want to pay attention to now. I took all the books off of the members that we had gluing last night. All right, so a day later, I go through, take the books off, take the pieces out, and then what I want to do is I want to pop them open. They should open pretty easy. And you should be able, if you've measured and glued well, you should be able to kind of fold them back the opposite direction and end up with, a pretty square thing. You see it's a hair off. But give a little inspection of them, right? Kind of open them up a little bit. See, like that piece opened, and we would have rather that stayed glue. So what I would do is I would go through and put a little bit more rubber cement in that seam, lay it down, put it back in, put a book underneath it, just to make sure everybody stayed together. Like, see, there's another little bit of a puckering there. They most likely won't separate during the night, but just as a precaution, check them all over, make sure they're in good shape, and maybe put a little bit more glue on those ones so that they shore up a little bit better. After you're done doing that, you're going to go through and you're going to start setting up your boards with gusset plates on them. So all of my gusset plates, these are Ben Campbell's, are sitting in this little baggie here. So I'm going to dump them out on the page. And what I want to do is I want to match them up with each one of the spots that they could potentially go on. And you'll notice, like I'm on this one here, this one kind of looks like it fits, but it doesn't quite. See how that edge isn't rounded? See how that thing? So it probably isn't the one. So let's keep looking around, finding out where it does go. And maybe it's there. That must be here, I guess. No, there it is right there. All right, it's on the top here, right? They really do all fit pretty close to perfectly. So there happens to be one right there. So now I've got to get it to stay in place. I sent everybody home with pins, so I'll throw some pins out on the table here. And I want to pin it down. I try to pin it in two different places. So I want to put a pin in a place where a member doesn't go. So when I put my members down here later, it's not going to run into the pin. And same thing here. This one, there's a member that is going to go here. It's not going to hit the pin. That's going to hit the pin, making it a pretty good place to put it, right? So we will pop this one on there. And usually two places is enough to hold the place. It doesn't have to hold it perfectly, just pretty well, right? So I'll end up continuing moving on. This one here, same thing, is going to go in that spot. And, this one here in this spot. I'll pin this one down just because it's next to the one I just did. And then my plan here is I'm going to come back and show you kind of what a perfect one looks like all filled out after the case. But that's going to take a little while, and it might not happen before next class. So what I need you to know is you're going to put all of your gusset plates on this truss, and in the middle. And then you're going to grab another board. Right? That's why I sent you home with two. So we did them on all three spots there. And when you do this one, you're only going to do it in two spots. So this one is only going to go on the top and the bottom. You are not going to do the middle on the second board, okay? So it's essentially 5 trusses that you're doing it for. 1, 2, and 3 on the first board, 1 and 2 on the second board. Does that make sense? I hear you all answering my video as I'm standing in a room by myself, so I'll assume that it does. Next class, we'll start talking more about assembly, and I will try to pop in with a picture of, I'll start with one of these all the way filled out, so you'll get a perfect idea. So if you have any questions, come up and ask. Otherwise,